Discover Canada study questions. For more practice, go to CanadianCitizenshipTestKit.com. Who is responsible for funding primary and secondary education in Canada? A. Education is free in Canada. B. Parents pay tuition. C. The provinces and territories. D. The federal government. The correct answer is C. The provinces and territories. What are the approximate proportions of Aboriginal peoples? A. 45% First Nations, 14% Inuit, and 40% Métis. B. 65% First Nations, 4% Inuit, and 30% Métis. C. 56% First Nations, 12% Inuit, and 32% Métis. D. 30% First Nations, 4% Inuit, and 65% Métis. The correct answer is B. 65% First Nations, 4% Inuit, and 30% Métis. What is the capital city of Quebec? A. Montreal. B. Laval. C. Quebec City. D. Sept-Îles. The correct answer is C. Quebec City.
When was the first European settlement north of Florida established? A. 1640. B. 1644. C. 1614. D. 1604. The correct answer is D. 1604.
Who enforces laws in Canada's big cities? A. Provincial police forces. B. The RCMP. C. Municipal police forces. D. Provincial police forces and the RCMP. The correct answer is C. Municipal police forces.
What is meant by the phrase equality of men and women? A. Men and women are the same before the law. B. When a man and a woman disagree, the gender of the parties is an important factor. C. Men and women must take jobs that are typical for their gender. D. In theory, women should be able to do most of the things that men can do most of the time. The correct answer is A. Men and women are the same before the law. What does the presumption of innocence mean? A. It is the government's job to prove that a person is guilty. It is not the accused person's duty to prove that he or she is innocent. B. Innocence cannot be assumed. C. The judge will always believe what the government lawyer says. D. The judge will always believe what the suspect's lawyer says. The correct answer is A. It is the government's job to prove that a person is guilty. It is not the accused's duty to prove that he or she is innocent. What is the name of Canada's royal flag? A. The Union Jack. B. The United Kingdom's flag. C. The multi-crossed flag. D. The crosses of Saints George, Andrew, and Patrick. The correct answer is A. The Union Jack. Where does Canada's economy rank in the world? A. Canada has the largest economy in the world. B. Canada has one of the 5 largest economies in the world. C. Canada has one of the 10 largest economies in the world. D. Canada's economy is about the 25th largest in the world. The correct answer is C. Canada has one of the 10 largest economies in the world.
When did Canada adopt its current flag? A. 1965. B. 1945. C. 1867. D. 1982. The correct answer is A. 1965.
Which invention are Matthew Evans and Henry Woodward associated with? A. They invented the first refrigerator. B. They invented the first rechargeable batteries. C. They invented the first electric light bulb. D. They invented the first working radio. The correct answer is C. They invented the first electric light bulb.
What are the 3 main types of industry in Canada? A. Service, entertainment, and food exports. B. Service, manufacturing, and natural resources. C. Service, art, and weapons exports. D. Service, music, and visual arts. The correct answer is B. Service, manufacturing, and natural resources.
What phrase do we use to refer to the fact that the Prime Minister and the Ministers of the Crown must have the support of the majority of the members of Parliament? A. They must have the allowance of the majority of the MPs. B. They must have the confederation of the majority of the MPs. C. They must have the confidence of the majority of the MPs. D. They must have the support of the majority of the MPs. The correct answer is C. They must have the confidence of the majority of the MPs.
When do we say there is a minority government? A. When less than half the population voted. B. When less than half the population voted for the party that won the most seats. C. When the party that won the fewest seats forms the government. D. When the party that won the most seats won less than half of the total number of seats. The correct answer is D, when the party that won the most seats won less than half of the total number of seats.
What are 3 key facts about Canada's system of government? A. Canada has provincial governments, is a free democracy, and has a powerful sovereign. B. Canada is a federal state, a free democracy, and is a republic. C. Canada is a provincial state, has legislatures, and has a powerful sovereign. D. Canada is a federal state, a parliamentary democracy, and a constitutional monarchy. The correct answer is D. Canada is a federal state, a parliamentary democracy, and a constitutional monarchy. What is the capital city of British Columbia? A. Victoria. B. Vancouver. C. Surrey. D. Kelowna. The correct answer is A. Victoria.
When Riel and the Métis seized Fort Garry, how did Ottawa respond? A. Ottawa debated for many months about what to do next. B. Ottawa immediately started negotiations with the Métis. C. Ottawa struck a royal commission. D. Ottawa sent soldiers to retake Fort Garry. The correct answer is D. Ottawa sent soldiers to retake Fort Garry.
What are the largest ethnic groups in Canada? A. English, German, Irish, French, Chinese, Italian, Scottish. B. French, Scottish, English, Irish, Italian, Chinese, African. C. English, French, Scottish, Irish, German, Italian, Chinese. D. English, French, Chinese, Arab, German, Italian, Irish. The correct answer is C. English, French, Scottish, Irish, German, Italian, Chinese.
Who sits in the House of Commons? A. Elected members of Parliament, both the government and the opposition. B. Only members of the government. C. Only members of the cabinet. D. Members of Parliament, members of the Senate, and, symbolically, the sovereign. The correct answer is A. Elected members of Parliament, both the government and the opposition. When is gender-based violence acceptable in Canada? A. It is acceptable if the family thinks it is necessary. B. It is not acceptable unless the whole family agrees. C. It is acceptable if a father does not approve of his daughter's habits. D. It is never acceptable in any situation. The correct answer is D. It is never acceptable in any situation. Discover Canada study questions. For more practice, go to CanadianCitizenshipTestKit.com.